What's going on, guys? Welcome to part 5 on our series of the 6 keys to survival. Today, on this particular lesson, we're going to talk about solace. Solace, of course, meaning that in survival there is a psychological element that cannot be underestimated. Life is, I would say, for the most part, a mental game. Your ability to stay positive, healthy, and in the game is largely due to the fact that you have to have the ability to solve problems, create strategies, make quick timing decisions. So based upon your skill set, your knowledge base, your surroundings, your situation, whatever environment you may find yourself in, I would say probably the most important element in survival is conquering the mental game. I'm in my backyard today assessing some of the storm damage. I've got probably 50 white pine trees in my backyard, all precariously leaning towards my house. So this winter, I'm going to bring in some help and some climbing gear and some chainsaws, and we're going to start taking down some of these bigger pines. You can see behind me I've got some limbs that have fallen. But I travel quite a bit for my job. I'm out at least twice a month, 3 and 4 days at a time. And it's impossible for me to carry a bug out bag with me in my job. It's just absolutely impossible. I can't carry 20 pounds of gear with me everywhere I go. So I thought what I would do today in this video is I would give you 6 basic elements in understanding the mental game, understanding that your ability to survive in any key situation is going to be largely based upon having these 6 elements with you. The cool thing about this recommendation that I'm going to give you guys is A, it's affordable. B, it's rather discreet. It's lightweight and it doesn't require any suspicion. I travel on government facilities, military bases, go through checkpoints, security points, complete inspections, pat downs, you name it, for my job. So when they come across my kit and they look at my stuff, it doesn't raise suspicion. I'm not always going to be in a place where a survival situation may occur that is completely connected to my sustainment system. I'm not going to be near my bug out trailer or my bug out bag all the time. In fact, I would say the vast majority of your time you're going to be away from home unless you're retired. So how do you outfit yourself? We've all watched plenty of videos on YouTube, Rumble, pick your favorite social media platform, where guys are telling you what you need to carry with you 24/7. I'm of that opinion. I am. I'm absolutely an advocate of having a go bag, a get home bag, a stay put bag. I've got more bags than the bag lady. But sometimes you need to strip down to just the basic essentials. In this episode today, I thought what I would show you is 6 key things that you can go out and purchase right now. They're all relatively affordable. They're all accessible. And one of these things you're going to find to be a great resource in recognizing that you can't have a complete knowledge base with you at all times, or can you? So I have everything that I travel with on my person right now, including my sports bottle. Now this isn't just a regular sports bottle. This is a Berkey Black hydration bottle, but it has a very special filter in it. And I think these run about 50, 60 bucks. I'm going to link everything in this video for you today at the bottom. check out the video description, guys, and check the links. I'm not affiliated with any of these companies. Nobody's giving me any money, or nobody bought me a lunch. Nobody gave me any winning lottery numbers. They just said, you know what? This is good stuff. I'm going to recommend it. I use this stuff in my day-to-day activities, in my training, in my recreational adventures, at work. I have this Berkey Black sports bottle with me. It's called the Water Filtration for the Great Outdoors. It's got a flip-up cap. What I like about this bottle, unlike a lot of sports bottles, is that you have to suck through the filter. This bottle you can squeeze, and that's one of the benefits of having a water filter bottle with you, because sometimes you need to squeeze the water out that's clean. You know, maybe you've eaten a Big Mac or a quarter pounder with cheese with McDonald's, and now you're worried about, I don't know, E. coli. I'm just saying, that might happen, right? And you need to clean out a wound. There's a lot of reasons why you need to have a water filter. I would say water is your #1 concern in a survival situation. Water. So I always have this with me. It's lightweight. It weighs less than, I don't know, 10 ounces. I fill it up, 16-ounce bottle. I drink probably 3 or 4 of these a day. I do supplement with a nutritional vitamin supplement as well as a collagen. So I can put coffee in this, hot or cold, it really doesn't matter. And it's very inconspicuous. I can carry this to the beach, I can carry this to the woods. And like I said, little drawstring, put it on my back, put it on my belt, and away I go. So I would say right now, guys, if we're gonna talk about creating a mindset and putting yourself in an environment where you have peace of mind of knowing that you're not gonna die of dehydration, it's important to have a water bottle with you. Now you can go out and you can purchase stainless steel cups and pots and put together a mini camp system, and that's fine. Many of you guys have this kind of stuff, and you've got it in your car, you've got it in your truck, you've got it near you. But I'm talking about you're on the go, you're traveling somewhere, you're going somewhere, and it's very cumbersome to carry a bunch of that stuff with you on your back all the time. If you notice, I don't have anything on my back. Part of that gray man, part of that presentation that I am giving you right now is that I don't pose any threat whatsoever. I'm a tourist, okay? Apart from the multicam hat, I look like your average Joe or David. Yes, guys, get you a hydration bottle. I don't care if you're drinking just a regular, Aquafina bottle. A lot of you guys drink fluids every day, Gatorade, I don't care what it is. Save your bottle. Always, guys, have a way to drink with you. Get you a filter, all right? I can go right out of the pond. I can drink straight out of the toilet. I can go into a public restroom. All of a sudden, there's no electricity, there's no water. I can dip this thing in the back of the toilet or the front of the toilet. It really doesn't matter. And I can drink, okay? Secondly, I would say apart from hydration, since we know that exposure and dehydration are the 2 leading causes of death in any survival situation, I would say, secondly, the most important thing apart from hydration would be being able to stay warm and dry. For that, guys, I can tell you right now, there are a lot of people out there recommending ferro rods and Bic lighters and flamethrowers and, incendiary grenades, flashbangs, whatever you need to make a fire, right? I like a Mariner's lighter. I have featured these in previous videos. Once again, I'll link this as well. These are very affordable, about 10 bucks. These were used back during, before lighters were invented. This is actually one of the very first lighters ever invented, and it uses a small piece of flint, similar to what you would find in a Zippo lighter. This is a cotton cord, and it has to come with cotton, okay? Basically, what this is going to do, this is going to create an ember. Let me show you this a little bit closer. You're going to char the end of that cotton right there, and that's going to create an ember. So whatever tinder bundle that you're in, I'm in a pine forest right now, so I can come over here and find some tinder. This is all pretty dry stuff, and I can make a tinder bundle, bird's nest, whatever you want to call it. And this little lighter right here is going to allow me to create a fire. In most conditions, if I can create some sort of bark layered canopy, if it's raining, I'm going to build a little bit of a structure, put some bark over it so that when I'm making this fire and I'm trying to get the coals going, I'm not being saturated with water or rain or whatever, or snow. I like this because even if it gets wet, I can dry it out in my pocket, and this is going to get me a lot of uses, The flint will last a long time. And in the tube of this mariner's lighter, also called a sailor's lighter, there's a place to store an extra Zippo flint. I always have a sailor's lighter with me, always in my pocket. It weighs absolutely nothing. This is probably one of the greatest inventions ever made. Why do I like a mariner's lighter or a sailor's lighter? Because it creates an ember, not just a spark. That's the problem that I have with ferro rods. That's the problem I have with many forms of creating fire, is that this takes you to stage 2 of making a fire, and that is an ember. Remember, guys, in fire, you start out with a spark, then you go to an ember. And this is what is going to get you to step 2 immediately. This is why I like that, okay? So I've got that in my left pocket. Now, as far as gathering tinder, how many Boy Scouts out there? You know, you're going to find yourself in a situation where you need to create tinder, find tinder. This is a Swiss Army knife, one-handed trekker. Consequently, they don't make this edition anymore because the newer version now has a serrated blade, but either the serrated blade or the non-serrated blade works. What you're looking for is you're looking for a saw, okay? Now, if you're in a pine forest, what you're looking for is you're looking for anything that has resin, fat wood. That would be my first go-to. Where do you find fat wood in a pine forest? Well, you find it on dead logs, dead limbs, anything laying on the ground. You're going to roll it over, and you're going to find anywhere where there is a branch that is collected at a zero gravity position. You're looking for the lowest point on that tree, because all that pine resin and all that sap is going to drain to the bottom, and it's going to percolate to these extended branches right here. In fact, you can already see some of it in this branch right here already oozing out. I can see all the white resin already oozing out. So I'm going to cut the bottom of that branch right there with this saw, and I'm going to find the inner core of that branch, and all that's going to be bright orange or a sort of a medium burnt red. That is exactly what you're looking for. That's fat wood. It pretty much ignites itself. So I'm going to take me some fat wood. I'm going to make some shavings with my saw. I'm going to create a little tinder bundle, and then I'm going to go around and I'm going to gather really small dry sticks. Small sticks, particularly from a conifer tree, your little fir trees, your little evergreen trees. Go around and you want to break those branches. You know that you've got a dead tree or a dry tree when you can break those little twigs and they sound like a pretzel. They want to break just like a pretzel. They want to snap in two. Very, very easy to find that kind of stuff. So this tree's been dead for a while, and you can see it snaps pretty quick. That's what you're looking for. You want to hear that snap, right? You don't want to see anything green. That's going to get you your tinder. From that point, you can go ahead and use your knife, and you can make feather sticks out of the pine. I recommend using any kind of conifer to start your fire with. Typically, there's enough pine resin and that kind of material to get a fire going no matter what is going on in the elements. Guys, you need to have a pocket knife with you. I'm not talking about a big old Bowie knife or a Rambo knife, but you can put a pocket knife, and it's very unobtrusive no matter where you go. Somebody says, "Empty your pocket, sir." You pull this out and nobody's going to look at you like you're some kind of insurrectionist, right? Get you a pocket knife, guys. So you got your lighter, you got your pocket knife, you got your hydration bladder, all right? Got something to drink water out of. Now you're warm, now you're dry, you're hydrated, you're feeling pretty good, right? You're feeling pretty good. But the problem is that you're limited with your knowledge base. Now you're like, now what do I do? Where do I go? How do I solve my next problem? After you solve exposure and dehydration, now you're sitting around and you're like, now what's my next move? Well, obviously you want to stay stealth, you want to stay quiet, and you want to observe your surroundings. And maybe you're going to get hungry, right? Maybe you're going to get hungry. Now you're going to have to adapt your elements and your survival kit based upon where you live, but I live in an area that has a lot of water. I mean, perhaps too much water, area of recently. But one of the things that I always have in my pocket with me when I travel is I have a survival fishing kit tin. Now these are ready-made, but you can put these together with an Altoids tin yourself. 50 feet of fishing line, monofilament, whatever you want to use, fire line, whatever. Get you some hooks, some sinkers, and you can go out and catch bugs or critters or caterpillars, worms, whatever. This is going to get you some food, fish. There's a lot of trout in North Carolina. I always have this with me. It weighs literally nothing. I forget it's in my pocket because it's so light. I do hear it clinking around sometimes, but you'll get used to carrying this stuff if you make it part of your everyday carry system, often referred to as EDC. All right, so you got your food covered, and maybe you don't have, bodies of water around you, so maybe you'd want to supplement that with some sort of snare kit. Put it in an Altoids tin, put a Ranger band around it, put some duct tape around it. Now you've got fire starter. All right, you can also supplement this survival tin with some fire starter, maybe some cotton, whatever you want to use there. Tender Quicks. There's a lot of supplemental stuff you can buy online that'll get you going in a pinch. Guys, I don't care. At this point, it's all about staying alive. The fifth item that I want you to think about buying is I want you to think about buying this survival guide. This is put out by Mr. Weissman. He was a Special Air Services Ranger in the British Army. And he put together this little book called SAS Survival Guide. The SAS would be similar to our Navy SEALs. They're pretty much the same. However, I would probably tip a hat to the SAS because they go through a lot more training than Navy SEALs do. Their training lasts for about 3 years. Just the first course alone, they go through 4 phases in their training, and the very first phase takes 8 weeks. I think 8 weeks, yeah, 8 weeks. And then the subsequent training that they have to go through take anywhere from 1 to 3 years. So they're pretty highly trained guys. Guys, this little book has just about everything you would need to know in a survival situation. $15, I think. Put it in your pocket, put it in your glove box. This needs to be a part of your survival kit. Remember, we're thinking about peace of mind. We're thinking about carrying something with you that you can go to as a reference, as a complete reference. They learn about endurance, navigation. They go through a 8-week jungle course. They learn about escape and evasion. I mean, these guys that go through this special force training, they're amazing, absolutely amazing. I have been through SEER school. It's an incredible opportunity to learn this skill set. It would take me a long time to teach somebody all this stuff, but pick you up a SAS survival guide, put it in your back pocket, put it in your glove box, put it in some kind of lunch box. This needs to be with you, all right? Yes, you can carry pictures, you can carry your Bible, you can carry iPods, you can carry all the stuff that we see everybody carrying with them everywhere they go. Guys, I wouldn't leave home. I would not leave home without some sort of knowledge base. Not my phone, not some app on my phone, even though this is an app as well. I would recommend getting the paper form. That way when you've mastered a skill, now you've got fire tinder, right? You've mastered a skill, you can tear that page out and use it as fire tinder. Or you can cut some of your hair, maybe some of your shirt, whatever. Guys, this is absolutely credulous to survival. It's something that I recommend carrying in your system. The last thing, of course, in dealing with survival is you want to recognize that you need to be able to navigate. You don't have a compass, you don't have a map, your phone's broken, you have no cell coverage, you have absolutely no clue where to go. One of the reasons why I always have an analog watch, always. Now I do have digital watches, I do wear them from time to time, but my go-to is an analog watch. This happens to be the Casio G-Shock Mudmaster. Great investment. This thing will do everything but make you buttered toast. Analog watch. I want to share, and I'll link the instructions on how to do this, but let me give you just a quick 101 on how to navigate with an analog watch. You're going to take the hour hand, that's the little one, of your watch, okay? And you're going to point it on a horizontal plane towards the sun. All right? Are you with me? You got that? Step 1. Take your analog watch, take the hour hand, and point it towards the sun. Wherever the sun's at, aim that hour hand directly at the sun. Now, without moving that watch and looking at the sun with that hour hand, I want you to look at the 12 o'clock numeral, or the number 12 on your watch. Okay, so now you've got that in your focus. You have the hour hand pointed at the sun. You've got 12 o'clock pointed in your eye. You see that in your peripheral. Now you're going to draw a dissectional line between the 12 and the hour hand. Just bisect that number 12 and wherever the hour hand is, okay? Where that bisected line goes through the hour hand and the 12, that direction that you're looking at between the 12 and the hour hand is south. The opposite of that bidirectional line, that is on the outside of that hour hand and that 12, is north. No matter where you go, guys, if you have an analog watch with you, you'll always be able to find direction. Now, this works in the northern hemisphere. For those of you that live in the southern hemisphere, you're going to have to reverse that. I'll link the instructions step by step. It's as old as Methuselah. A lot of guys have taught this, but it's probably one of the best and simplest ways to find directions in the woods. That is provided you can find the sun, right? Guys, these are the 6 things that I carry with me all the time. These give me peace of mind. Yes, I have other skill set, other knowledge bases that I can tap into. At the end of the day, when you boil it all down and you push me out of a moving truck, or you throw me 16 hours away from my comfort place, these are the things that matter to me. I've got to stay hydrated. I've got to be able to stay warm and dry. I've got to be able to find my way. I have to be able to find my way. I mean, eventually, I might be like John Coulter and have to walk across the country to get to where I need to go, right? Having this SAS survival guide in my hip gives me confidence that if I need to look at a plant, I need to be able to identify, I'm foraging, I'm gathering. I mean, this thing will teach you how to make snare traps. It'll teach you everything from first aid, hygiene, from finding food, from finding water. There's so much knowledge in that book. Guys, I hope this helps y'all. I want to thank you for watching. Till next time, be safe.